Hey everybody, and welcome back to another YouTube video. You might notice actually the video quality's a little bit better this time round. I'm in a weird ass interim where I don't have a webcam anymore, and the DSLR I ordered isn't here yet. So I'm actually doing this off of my phone. It's a really odd setup, but honestly I'm actually quite vibing it. Completely free, and I've got a Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. It makes so much sense to use this for recording. It's got such a good camera on it, it's completely worth doing. But today we're going to be, well, we've got some teamfight tactics down below somewhere, and all I'm going to say is wait till the end on that one. Today we decided to try and abuse meta, and Christ almighty did it go well. We became practically untouchable towards the end. But I wanted to delve into a little more of a funny personal story about my childhood and a really stupid thing that shouldn't have happened, but did. At the time, I fell out of a tree and ripped every single ligament and tendon in my leg and crushed pretty much all the cartilage, and ooh, I tell you what, it was horrible. So when I was younger, I used to go out and play with my cousins a lot, and pretty much right next to us we have a playing field. It's, you know, your typical thing. There's like children's play area and dog walking areas, I can't remember what they call it, multi-use fitness thing. It's a football goals and basketball hoops in one little turfy bit. But whenever they'd come down, we always used to just go there and play around, you know. Oh god, I got awful hiccups. But yeah, we'd always go there, we'd always muck around and try and have as much fun as we could without actually, like, causing any trouble, because we were good boys and girls. But yeah, we went down there one day, and I can't remember why we thought it would be a great idea to try and get into a competition over who could climb the tallest tree. And we've got like a load of sort of really big oak trees, you know, oak trees. I think there's a willow tree there, and everybody else got about halfway up the tree, I think. And me being me, I am a super competitive boy. Like, honestly, if someone lays a challenge down in front of me, 9 times out of 10, I will just go for it. I will just try my best to go for it. But anyway, yeah, I did my bits and I started scaling this tree and thinking, well, I've already won. You know, I've already climbed the highest, but I'm going to flex on these fools a little bit. I'm going to flex and I'm going to go all the way to the top. I think this tree was about 4 meters high. Just to give you an idea, was it? Actually, no, about 5 or 6 meters high. And I just kept climbing and climbing. I think I got about 4 meters up. I got pretty much to the top, but then I started losing my stones a little bit and thought, yeah, all right, this is enough. This is enough of a flex that this isn't going to be a problem anymore. Like, I've won. That's fine. And as I decided, it's like, right, I'm coming down. Let's do this. Let's go. And I slipped from the very top, pretty much, of that tree. I slipped on those branches. And I slipped, and I was kind of heading down head first. But fortunately, it could have been a lot worse, and I could have landed straight on my neck. And that probably would have just been game over. Like, that would have been it. No more Michael. But fortunately, my left leg, one of the branches that was sticking out, my left leg literally on the joint clipped there. So my leg basically went around this branch I sort of bungeed back up, and just this horrific chorus of snapping, ripping, tearing, breaking just rung through this little area. And we'd actually crossed a stream at this point, so we couldn't get anybody to drive straight to us. Like any of, my parents, my auntie, my uncle, none of them could drive straight to us, because of course we'd gone to do it in the most abandoned field in the fieldy area where we live. So literally, I think about 3 of them had to carry me whilst avoiding my floppy leg, and they had to carry me for about, I think it was about 100 meters, which, isn't a great distance. But when you've got somebody who doesn't know what's happened to their leg, you're absolutely terrified about what's just happened, and like all these noises still ringing fresh in your ear. I was there screaming. It felt like an eternity that they had to walk and carry me, and it was dreadful. So anyway, fast forward it a little bit. We managed to get to my uncle's car, who's parked as close as he can to where we are. And he takes me back to my house. They all end up leaving. And I ended up going to one of the hospitals closest to us to get a full-on assessment of what had gone on. Because at this point, I was super worried that, I almost thought I was going to have the leg amputated. No dramatic flair meant, but if you could have seen how much my leg looked like just a floppy banana, basically. Like one of those rubbery, floppy bananas you can buy. So my mum loaded me into my dad's car, and Dad basically sped us right down. I think the hospital from us is about 25 minutes away. And my dad did it in 10, just to give you a sense. But, we got to the hospital, and there was me. I think it was, mid-November, so it was really cold. In just a t-shirt, a pair of England football kit shorts, and no shoes, just a pair of socks on. I looked an absolute state. But the first thing my mum did when she saw me, because she was so worried, was immediately take my shoes off in case any fluid filled or anything happened, and I could not take them off. So that was her first thought before loading me into the car. And basically we got to the hospital, and we went through all the sort of bits. We went to the waiting room, and Men in Black 2 was on. So I pretty much sat there. I think I was waiting for an hour. I think it was roughly an hour to get seen, because this particular hospital is it's really underfunded, and they are a really good hospital, but it's very apparent that they don't get a lot of funds. And anyway, I'm in the waiting area again. Actually, the best way I can describe what my leg looked like is the scene in Harry Potter where he breaks his arm in the Quidditch match. I think it was the 4th one. It's I'm just gonna put a clip of it. I know which bit I'm on about. I think Mr. Diggory tries to heal his arm with a spell and ends up just removing all the bones from it. It's pretty much what my leg looked like. I could spin all my muscles that were meant to be at the back to the front, and it was horrendous to look at. It was absolutely horrible. But anyway, we eventually get seen, and I'm there with the doctor on one of the sort of assessment tables, and he's just looking over my leg and poking and prodding and moving things with the typical doctor thing of, not supposed to do that. And, there's me trying to no, leave me alone. I will punch you. That hurts. And after he'd done his assessments, it's gets my mum and dad in and my brother, and it's kind of he's somehow managed to rip all the ligaments and tendons in his leg, the impact of bungeeing and going back up off of the branch when I landed was enough to crush all the cartilage between my legs. Well, between my bones. And I think I pulled my Achilles tendon as well. And yeah, it was horrific. It was so horrific. So, they gave me basically just a fuck ton of painkillers to get prescribed. I think I was 13 at the time. I think I was only like a year or two into secondary school. God, I'm so hiccupy. But yeah, so I was essentially bedbound to my room. I could not move much further than my bed. If I needed to go toilet or anything like that, I had to have assistance to get there, because a pair of crutches, I had a pair of crutches, but at the same time, I always needed someone to hand in case I just toppled over, and I had one leg. I couldn't really get myself back up, and I'm still about as skinny, I was skinnier then than I was now. I think at this point, I was about 6 foot tall, and I think I weighed about 7 stone. I was frail, dangerously underweight, but yeah, that bad times. But anyway, it's that went on for about 2 or 3 months. I think after the 3rd month, I got so bored of being upstairs that it was like, right, I need to just do something. I need to go outside. I can't stay in this room anymore. So ended up getting my crutches, and my nan and granddad, when they were alive, used to live just round the corner from us. So I just literally got my crutches, got the one shoe on my right foot, and just wobbled around and went to see them. I think as soon as I opened the door, and then went into the front room to see my granddad, gave me the biggest bollocking I think I've ever had in my entire life. Like, I walked through the door, he saw the crutches before he saw me. I think he looked up from his chair. What the fuck are you doing here? I kind of just stared at him. It's like, missed you. I missed you. I need like company that isn't mum and dad and my brother, and I don't want to be in that room anymore. So I think anyway, he made me food, because that's what my grandparents always used to do. I was nicknamed Six Dinner Sid with those, because I usually spend the days at my friend's house, back when he lived by me, and then I'd have food with them. I would then go to my nan and granddad's on the way home and spend an hour, 2 hours with them. Have dinner with them, and snacks and all that fun stuff. And then I actually go home and have another lunch. Well, lunch, dinner, tea, whatever your vocabulary is for it. I don't judge. But yeah, so I ended up with the nickname Six Dinner Sid. Just tangent. But yeah, so anyway, he made me dinner, because that was basically what they did, and called my mum. I think she'd gone shopping. I called my mum, and it's like, yeah, he's round here, just come round and go home with him when he's ready. So that was fun. As soon as she came through the door, got a bollocking off of her as well. So yeah, fun times. But during this time is like, I just, I hadn't gone to school. I did ask if they could send work to me, because I wasn't doing anything. I was laying in bed for 3 months. I think during that time I probably put about 500 hours into Final Fantasy VII. I think I just fired up my PS2, got Final Fantasy VII in there, and that was it. That was my whole, my whole journey of it. But yeah, and another couple of months after that passed, and we went back, had a after a couple of physio sessions. I think it was 1 or 2 physio sessions a week, just to make sure that everything was working, going back, and all that good shit. But yeah, we eventually got the all clear, and it's like, yeah, you can You know, you can put your own weight on it now. You can do your own stuff, basically. Just for the love of Christ, don't exercise for another, like, 6 months or so. But at this time, I was on the school rugby team. I think I was at a local football team, or soccer if you're American. And I think I was at a five-a-side team as well. Like a five-a-side football team that used to play sort of every Monday evening. And I just had to go, you know, I could go back to school, I could do all that, but I had to go round and it's like, yeah, I can't exercise for like at least 6 more months. And that's if, you know, that's if it doesn't heal quick. You know, it could be another year or a year and a half, I'm done. But at this time, you're kind of made of magic and rubber at that age. So, me being me, it was like 3-4 months in, I, you know, started like doing a light bit of running and getting my body used, well, I say my body, my leg used to, you know, sort of being strained and pushed and pulled. And it felt fine. So, job's a good one. Right, hey, I'm back. I can do whatever you want me to do. So, of course, back then, you know, I had to go through and it's like, right, we need to make sure that you are actually fit as you think you are, that you're not just going to keel over at the first, the first sort of explosive push. So we went and did all that. It was fine. You know, it was like, it got a bit sore afterwards, but I put that more down to just not being used that much. You know, a good hour session and that was it. I needed to rest it for the rest of the evening. But anyway, after that, you know, we go back into rugby and football, all that good stuff. And I remember it so vividly because I remember just lying on the floor. And we were at an away match for the school rugby team. I think it was my 3rd or 4th game back. So, you know, I was still fairly fresh from it. And I remember I used to play on the wing because back then I was such a quick runner. I could literally cover an entire rugby field in 10 seconds. And because I was so thin and so like gangly, you know, it would take someone who was as quick as me to take me down. But I remember sort of waiting for somebody to approach me because they had the ball and I was sort of one of the last lines of defense. So he's coming at me and he's not the biggest guy, but at this point he's bigger than me. So it's like, right, just, you know, be careful, go for the ankles and you'll be fine. But as I went down, literally sidestepped across from me. And then I think I managed to get one of his ankles and sort of like scooped at it. But he kicked me with his heel, literally got me straight in the eye. I think he ended up cracking a bit of my orbital socket. And I think I went unconscious for I think it was only the slightest amount of time. And, but I remember it so vividly, I think I came to. I was kind of lying on the floor with both teams around me. Just kind of like so dazed. And looked up, it's like, did I get him? Did I get him? And everybody just looked at me like, no, Michael, you went unconscious. He kicked you in the face and you went unconscious. And it was like, oh, I've had this for bad luck now. But yeah, after that, we kind of stayed out of big sort of damage to ourselves. You know, I'm lucky I've never broken a bone or anything in my life, but I swear down to you that that was the worst. Like, I've never broken a bone. I cannot compare to you. I fractured a bone, but I've never fully clean broken one. But I'm going to have to say, I think the ligaments and tendons snapping, I think that was worse that was excruciating. And even on cold days, I can still get a bit of a twinge in my knee and think, ooh, there is still something there. Like, there is still something going on under there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Just like, I don't know why, I couldn't think of anything to record today. But then that story popped into my head and I don't know why. But I hope that it made you laugh and made you cringe a little bit, and yeah, I just hope that my pain brought a bit of laughter and maybe a bit of togetherness, you know a little bit more about me. But I want to thank you for watching the video. I think we've still got a bit of the gameplay left to go at this point. And once again, as I said at the start of the video, please go through and watch the absolute abuse that came into this game. It was utterly ridiculous. But as always, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe down below. And all socials, everything are in the description. If you want to stay in touch, if you've got any stories for me, similar sort of painful stories, leave them in the comments. Feel free to reach out to me on any of the platforms I'm on. But until next time, peace out, and hopefully we will have a proper DSLR soon.